last month, we were sharing about these amazing women. And guess who, stirred that all up? That's Miss Tangeray, honey. She'll get you
Oh.
going, honey. Say hello to the people. I'm so
Hey, peeps.
yes. Y'all can't see her on my Instagram, but that means you need to go into Facebook to Everybody Educate page, and you will be able to see this beautiful queen right here. Okay, can y'all give it up for Miss Tangeray Porter? Okay, I just love her. Talk to the people. What's up,
Hey,
girl? What's going on?
peeps. Hey. Everybody educate, y'all. I've been waiting to get on this page, honey, with my girl, Miss Queen, y'all.
Yes.
Excited today. I've been lit all week
Woo!
about that.
She's amazing. This beautiful ball of energy is just like, she just lights up the whole world. I'm just telling y'all just don't know. I was like, please say yes. When I asked her, I was like, I hope she is not busy, because she busy all the time. Okay, can y'all just understand that? She is busy all the time. She does not play games. She is changing this world. Okay, I just need y'all to understand that. And ain't nobody stopping her. And I said it ain't nobody stopping her.
Ain't that part.
Stopping her. Okay, listen. Tangeray, I need you to just tell us a little bit about this blessed life that you have been, this path that you've been like going on. And I like to be natural. I like to be free. I like to flow and be flexible. So just do your thing, girl.
I got you. Same, which is the reason why we probably get along so well. If it ain't creativity, it's just flowing with the good energy that God gave us, right? So she just told you guys my name. My name is Tangeray Porter, and a little secret I'll tell the world. Yes, I'm named after Jen Tangeray. Yep. My daddy did that. So I had just to go ahead and tell the people, because folks be like, where you get your name from? Daddy did that. But hey, there's only one me, right? So yeah, Tangeray Porter. I am the founder of Cultivated Connections Design and Consulting. There's the name on my fabulous hoodie. I came in all natural, like this is me on it every day with a hair wrap, big earrings, and a hoodie. Yo, this is me. I like to be comfortable, right? I am the founder of Cultivated Connections, as I just mentioned, which is a arts integration educational consulting firm. I believe in all things creativity. I believe our kids should get all things creative, no matter whether they're black, white, pink, purple. I'm here. Everybody needs to be creating, right? And it was created just because of my experience as an educator, right? I've been across, I'm a multi-dimensional educator. I did dance, I've done kindergarten, I've done 6th grade science and social studies. So I can teach your baby how to dance, write, and read. Don't play with me. And you know, all that. I got you. You just let me know. But one thing that I noticed on both sides of the spectrum for students was there's not enough creativity in the classroom spaces. And teachers want that, right? Right? Like teachers want that, but they don't know how to do it. So Cultivated was birthed out of my experience as an educator of not knowing the things that I needed to know to be a successful teacher, right? As a dance educator. We don't get them good trainers like that. Like we out hanging, doing other things, right? But as a gen ed educator, I was like, well, as a creative myself, I'm realizing my cohorts, my colleagues do not know how to engage creativity in their spaces. So yep, you got Cultivated Connections. But as you've heard me talk about creativity, I'm a natural born creative. I get it from my daddy. He used to do art. My granny is a creative in her own space. Like you give her ideas, she's gonna bring it to life. She planned my whole wedding, y'all. I just threw it there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, but a native Memphian. Hey, Memphis.
Okay, Memphis in Tennessee. You better rep.
Yeah.
Yes, honey. Oh, girl, you done said a whole lot. But as you were talking, I started thinking about just like the whole shift and the whole move that is taking place, that is like, and if it doesn't take place by somebody else, you better be sure these girls right here, these beautiful women right here about to make sure that creativity is happening on a regular basis. And we changed that narrative. And I, like the first time I met Tangeray a while back, in 2021, when I met her, I remember just like feeling like, oh my gosh, like something came to life. And we was just vibing. I think it was me, you, Nika, right?
Yep.
On the breakout room. And it just went down. The very first time. And I think that to me, what I heard you say is what is missing when we are in the education system. It does not feel like that. But what our children, not even, you said our teachers need to feel that, they want that and they need to know how to do it, but our children are yearning for creativity. They're learning. And so I love your name, Cultivated Connections Design and Consulting. Where did Cultivated Connections even come from? Like that name, how did that? Yeah.
Yes. So just like our dear friend Anika, if she's watching, I'm a lover of words. Like I'm my own poet. All the books. Like I love reading. I love just creating little things. It's like a puzzle to me. But it came from just thinking about what did I want Cultivated Connections to stand for as a whole. And of course, all things arts, right? It was definitely that, like all things arts, but not just the arts. For me, as an educator and a creative and a student, like of all years, still learning, right? It was one of those things of, I want to understand what it means to cultivate what children already know, and add on new knowledge, right? Which is something that the arts naturally does. We pull what they already know and add some layers on top. But it was the framework. I was thinking of like, okay, I need 3 words. And if y'all have done Dr. D's coaching program, she walks you through this like create your framework. And I was like, oh snaps, how do I create a framework? What does that mean? And then of course she gives us these teachings and whatnot of like how to do it. And the words, my framework first started with cultivate, which we know is to basically build on or acquire knowledge. Connect. I want to connect the arts to core content. I want to connect teachers to the lessons that they already know, the things that they already know, to arts integration. I want children to connect with their bodies, their creativity, their imagination, their healing. All of that goes out in connecting. But then after that, we need to create something, whether that's teachers creating lesson plans, unit plans, go from sequence, or children creating product or a new way of life or creating new coping skills. Like, so that's where it stemmed from the framework, because I was like, oh, enriching connections, because special teachers are also known as enrichment teachers. I was like, nah, plus somebody already had that name. I couldn't even do that. Then the word cultivated kept popping out, even in conversations with all of you guys. I kept hearing cultivate. I was like, okay, we're gonna go with cultivate. And it's taken a life of its own. All of that. and then understanding what does arts means to me. And if you follow me, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Cultivated.connections. I'm on TikTok too. Cultivated.connections. But it was also, what does the arts mean to me? The arts to me is not just creativity. Arts is healing. Arts is learning. Arts is social justice, right? All those things, and all that kind of fell under cultivated and connections.
Listen, I'm getting these little notifications saying that they can't hear me on Instagram. I don't know what just happened there, but listen, my soul right now, because I need to take that in, because at the end of the day, so I don't know what's happening. Oh, she said I'm good now. Okay. Oh, they couldn't hear you. Okay, so let me put a little closer over here. Oh dang! Because
and I know they can't hear me.
She's on fire.
Mine, because I got my headphones in. So y'all just on my Instagram, y'all just gonna have to hear, my take. Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. That means y'all need to go to Everybody Educate. Go ahead and like that page. Go ahead and get involved. Go ahead and get in there, because it's going down. I have the most amazing people. Okay, she said we can hear you now, loud and clear now. Okay, good. All right, good. But still go on into Everybody Educate on Facebook and get on in there. Okay.
And do.
Yes, honey. Because I am here with Miss Tangeray Porter from Cultivated Connections Design and Consulting, and she is amazing. I just need y'all to know this is my $1 billion sis. This is my natural sis. This is my sis. Okay, we about my creative sis. All right, and nobody like her at all. Nobody. I love unique, beautiful people who desire to just change the world and not be robots. Y'all already know how I do. I think that we are all educating somebody somewhere in some way. And if you are doing it the exact same way someone else is doing it, you're not really being true to yourself. That's just my opinion. Just saying. And I have here, right here, Miss Tangeray. She don't do what everybody else is doing all the time, right? It's beautiful for us to take what we've learned, and that's wonderful, right? And so I just love the way that she educates in life, not just education in the four walls of an institution or whatever, you know, but she educates in life through her creativity, through her family, through everything, her hair. Listen, I'm usually natural, but you know, I had to just do a little something different today. I'm still natural, but you know, to straighten it out, put some red in there, but it's okay. That's just what I chose to do.
Yeah,
but we are here.
Choices.
We are here. With the natural thing, okay? It's the natural thing. And natural thing, when I think about education, I heard Tangeray say about how to cultivate, right? How do we cultivate really what we want to see? And that's exactly what we're really talking about today. But one of the things I heard you say, Tangeray, was something about healing. I want to delve deep into that because that's really what I've been trying to like get to. I've been trying to come out of a space of these restraints, right? You talked earlier about, you know, people want to do something different. They want to be more creative. They want to be themselves, but there's so many restrictions, and there are so many people that need healing from all of those chains in the education system. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to also just speak my truth. I've been in the education system, and you can tell me how long you've been in as well. Almost like 17 years now.
Yeah.
Bound, trying to fight through trains every single day to be creative, trying to fight through chains every single day to decide if I want to wear my hair kinky, which I always put it up in the air. I want to present, but you're not looking at me crazy like, who's this guy? Excuse me. Like, you must not know. And I'm gonna share one little piece because I want to know your take on this part for like a little bit deeper with healing. I remember this year, actually, I was at a parent meeting, PSCC meeting, and I had a parent say to me, like, I'm gonna ask you a question, Miss Queen, but it may not be in your lane, like, you know. And it was about like writing or something. It was about like TDA, text dependent analysis, writing, and something like that, which really is my area. But it resonated with me. Maybe he didn't mean it like that, but I get that a lot. Well, maybe you may not know this. Why wouldn't I know? I don't hear that all the time with some of my coworkers who might be white or who might be a male. I'm just being real. And so I had to like realize, like, Robin, are you healed from the fact that people always are assuming one thing because you're young, you're Black, you got your hair curly, sometimes you're over all this energy and you don't know. And then, you know, you need to be healed from some things in this system so that you can just go forward without apology. And I realized that is something that when those kind of triggers come up, that happen. I'm like, why does that bother me? What about you? Talk to me a little bit about that healing piece.
This healing word has been sitting on my spirit for quite some time, which is one of the reasons why like it's very important for me to share healing through creativity, and not even just arts, just creativity, whatever it looks like for you. Just to give you a little bit of my backstory, what am I healing from my life? I feel like I have to provide this context to allow you to understand Tangeray, or T for lack of better words, as a person, because T and Tangeray are two totally different people in my opinion. So mom was a teen mom, right? So there already is some generational curses there, and that's a whole nother conversation, right? Me and my mom are besties, yo. We're besties. That's my boo baby. But I grew up with a teen mom who did all the things that she could, a father who unfortunately battled with substance abuse, and he is clean today. Hallelujah for his own healing. So that started my life, right? And I do not complain about the cards that was dealt to me because excuse me, because of those cards and because of the amazing resilience, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with that word from my parents, is the reason why you guys get tea today, right? But that started life for me. My father unfortunately was shot. Again, he's alive, hallelujah, when I was 6. So I went to school with that every day on my head, right? Developed anxiety. If I have to pinpoint an age, it was 6 years old when I first experienced what I now know as anxiety, right? At 6, ready to run out the school building, like I did at one point in 3rd grade. So school became my safe haven. Not that anything crazy was necessarily going on at home, because it wasn't, but school was just this safe place. And in that safe place was these moments where I could lose myself in reading or lose myself in writing and all those different things. So creativity became a healing space for me. Naturally, of course, with movement and dance, because that's what my parents did. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. They danced and it was fun. But that became my first form of expression. And anytime I would move my body, I felt healed in a sense, right? I felt this release. And of course, the scientific, we know the why of why we feel released after we move our bodies, all the endorphins and all those different things, right? But as a child, of course, I didn't know this. I just know it felt good to my body. Or I knew that me writing poetry, I started writing poetry at 9. That form of expression of just getting whatever it is, whether it was happy, sad thoughts, was a form of healing for me, which I still do now. Not as much, but hey, I still do it. That was a form of healing for me as well. And, you know, again, talking to my parents, with my father, he is a natural artist. He self-taught. And that was also his way of healing. So creativity has such healing properties. So I give you that on the personal aspect. But on the professional aspect, I've been in the game 10 years, well, almost 10 years. Next year will be 10 years. And as y'all told y'all, I've been all around this thing. But for me, it was healing the perception of what it means to be a Black girl with a big name. Because of course, children will be children, and that's something I also teach my scholars. We don't mess with people's names. That is their birthright. Like, we don't do that. So, and that the children know I am very passionate about making sure we say names correctly, and I share my story as well with the scholars, so they can get an understanding that Miss Porter ain't just fussing, like, this real. But that started early, of people just not saying my name right.
Honey,
something so simple as that. People not saying my name right, whether it was a teacher, a child. And of course, I'm more forgiving with children, but children work hard to get it right. Doctors, like, it's pronounced like it's spelled. So even just that stifled, and that's one of my phrases of stifled voices exposed. That stifled my voice early, just because people would not honor the spelling and then the pronunciation of my name. And it wasn't until I was good and grown where I actually started to love my name and even love myself, because the big name has a big personality behind it that it took maybe 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's been maybe, I'm gonna say, within the last 3 or 4 years that I've honored and accepted, like, Tangeray is a big personality. She talks a lot. I have ADHD. It is what it is. That is what it is. I'm a hyper creative, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So healing from all of these internal traumas that I didn't even know existed, has been fun and exhilarating and exhausting and all those different things. Of, girl, just be you. Be the hair wrapping loving queen with the little ears, because you can't see them right now, and the big earrings and the big voice and the big teeth and big smile. You finna get it.
Come on. Give it, girl. I love it.
What am I dimming? What am I dimming for? Because we did that too long, especially in the educational institutions, in this professional space of what it means to look like with having natural hair. My hair is locked now. I've been locked for almost a year and a half. And even just that process of like, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. What are the people going to say? Forget the people. So I'm now at a space of like, I don't care. Either you like it or you don't. I don't care.
Yes. Oh man. Man, that is just, to me, that is just the most beautiful, like, I'm gonna put my little thing back over here because I done turned it on you because you was just bringing so much life. That's just, to me, that's just, I don't know, like it does something to me because children come to school for all these hours, right? And first of all, you call them scholars.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Number one, right? You are scholars. You are speaking to what you want to see, what you know that's inside of it, and even beyond that. That's number one. Number two, how many times have I literally, or you even literally heard teachers or people just say, you know what, I just call them this for short. No, I worked at a school we had so many different nationalities and it was heavy ESL, English as a second language school for a very long time. And it was very hard to say some student's name, but same thing like you said, it was like, no, that's their name though. Why do we need to not say their name the way that it's supposed to be? Learn it. I mean, I would have teachers come in and say, oh, just call me Miss M. Oh, just call her Miss T. We don't know how to say it. They're not going to know how to say my name anyway. Who have settled in the fact that we don't have time to be learning that. Why? We're in school all these hours. We're learning all this stuff. Why can't we learn your name?
Yep.
No, it's and it's not okay. And so people are like, people who want me to shorten their name, they're like, oh, it's okay. It's just long. It's hard. No, it's your name. It's your name. Number one.
What made me start the name thing, really honor my name, it's actually been more than 4 or 5 years. I've been here in Nashville for about 8. So I'm gonna say it's been about 10 years. It was one of my former managers, and I'm definitely gonna have to tag her in this because I don't think she knows that she's the one that made me honor my name because of her pushback about her name. Her name is Kimberly. Very beautiful name. What? Common name, Kimberly. And I accidentally call her Kim, which, is naturally a short name. And she corrected me with the most love and did not condemn me. She was like, T, because I gave her permission to call me T. And she would ask, like, are you sure you want me to call you this? And she was like, T, no, my name is Kimberly. And at first, young, I was like 22, 23, I didn't understand. She was like, well, Kim is actually a male's name and it means this. Kimberly is the female version of this name and it means this. I prefer to be called Kimberly. Please do not shorten my name. And she did it with so much love and grace and in that moment, it clicked for me. My name is my name. Yeah. And if I did not give you consent, because that's another conversation, if I did not give you consent or give you the permission to call me something other than Tangeray, you have no right to call me something other than Tangeray. So even with my students, my scholars, it depends on what room we in. Some days they scholars, some days they dancers, just artists. It depends on what space we're in. I call them all of their identities. Right. I even ask my students, just because I'm a lover of nicknames, Pumpkin, Sweetheart, whatever it is. I have one student, I call her Nene because that's a part of her name. But I asked permission, can I call you Nene? And she was like, yeah, I actually love it. I said, okay, I just want to make sure it was good with you. Because it just naturally came out as a love, because that's one of my love languages, I give you a nickname. But I had to ask consent for that.
No, and
somebody call me Tangy, I'm gonna be big mad. Tangy is a family name.
Come on. Exactly. And see, we're not saying that there's things wrong with a nickname. No, not at all. But sometimes people say the nickname, say like, just call me this because people can't get it right. Let people get it right and still be able to have a nickname. That's fine. Right. But I mean, honestly, I was reading this little quote here on my little calendar. You know how it has the little nice little sayings every month, right? And so as you were speaking about the person who impacted your life, it made me look at this. It says, kind words are jewels that live in the heart and soul and remain as blessed memories years after they have been spoken. And to me, sometimes people mistake kindness for like, oh, I don't want to. No, that was that to me, to teach you, like, no, there's a meaning behind my name. She's kindly letting you know who she is and what she wants to be called, and just understanding for years down the road for you to be like, wow, that impacts you, that impacted you, that impacts your student. Our experience also impacts what we do in the classroom and how we address our children. And you know, like you said, you don't just give a child like a name as if you cultivated a relationship with them. No, we need to actually cultivate a relationship. You know, that's why I just love this cultivate, and I'm saying that because there are a lot of children that have been wounded by nicknames or names that they've been called.
Yes.
And they've taken it on as their identity, thinking that that's okay, because they don't really know. Like you said, it was your coworker.
It was my former manager. Yes,
your man. Like literally, you've got to know who you are. Because then anybody can call you what they want to call you, tell you what your identity is. They can shorten it to make them feel comfortable. And you go around like, why am I? Exactly me. I adopted this. Somebody gave me this. You know, sometimes that's nice. And sometimes it's just not.
It's just not, right?
I just want to put that out there. And our children live with that in the schools, in the system. They live with like, okay, I'll just whatever you say, because they admire us. They admire us as educators. And so I do, and we're here. If you're just tuning in, I am with Miss Tangeray Porter from Cultivated Connections Design and Consulting, the most amazing, creative, beautiful, Black, wonderful, amazing woman that I have met in a long time, honey, because she is changing this world with her ball of energy, ideas, her execution. She is on top of things. Okay. I just need y'all to know that. And she is telling us her story. And we're talking right now a little bit, hoping to make sure that you all are encouraged. And if you want to talk more about these things, make sure you hit her up, hit me up. Everybody educate, tell them your info again.
Yep. Cultivated.connections on both Facebook and Instagram. I got to change it on TikTok, but just hit the link in the bio to get TikTok.
Tune in. There's just some amazing things happening, and there's some more amazing things happening this spring and the summer and beyond. So you will see, and I just want you all to understand, know who you are. And if you need to be healed from that, because we've been talking every week about education, healing, I am tired of it. I am tired of being restrained to the way in which we do things in the school system, outside of the school system, and even in our jobs and what we're teaching our children. Sometimes is a result of what we actually didn't like or actually didn't make us feel comfortable, but now we're comfortable with it, and it's hitting our kids all around. Go ahead, Tangeray, you want to go ahead?
You just girl. Spoke a whole word.
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
That hit different when you just said that it was things that we were not comfortable with that we're now doing. Oh my gosh. Ooh-wee. And I think the reason why that just literally just spoke up in my spirit, or as my my godfather said, my Shonda and my Shonda. Yep. It spoke up in there. Is because I fell into that trap as well, especially being a gen ed educator. Nothing wrong with my gen ed educators. We have been institutionalized to do things this particular way, and which is also one of the reasons that pushed me out of gen ed. The only gen ed class I go back to is kindergarten. I go with them.
Kindergarten?
Yes, because you can be whatever and they love it. Yeah. But I grapple with that a lot. I do currently still teach at a charter school, and I'm thankful for my current principal, who is a powerful Black woman. And it's so amazing to see this Black woman with natural hair just walk through the halls in all her glory and voluptuousness. I'm like, yes, sis. It's amazing. And we teach, our school is predominantly Black, right? So to have my students see multiple Black women and Black men in our school doing and looking amazing. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. But I don't know if she knows, and I'm gonna have to write her a beautiful thank you note. But I don't know if she knows that she is the one who kind of inspired me to be me, because she was being her.
Yes.
Right. I remember asking about head wraps. This might not have nothing to do with the comfort thing, but I remember our first professional development situation sessions, and we're talking about dress code. And of course, hats are not a part of dress code, and that's in most businesses, right? So I straight up asked her, I said, "Are head wraps okay?" And she was like, "Girl, yes." She said it just like that. "Girl, yes, they're okay. If that's a part of your identity, then wear it." Mm-hmm. And she asked me, if I'm not mistaken, or I don't know how we got a conversation, that was so long ago. Why did I ask that? And I said, in my previous institution, and nothing, in my previous institutions, I felt that I had to hide that part of me, mm-hmm. that creative part of me, because I'm a head wrapping fool. I would, in a heartbeat, right? Especially forget a bad hair day. It's a good hair day any day, and I will pop a hair wrap on because it's color and it's me. And I expressed like, I don't know for sure if I was able to ever do it. I did it anyway, but I did not feel comfortable with doing it. I just did it, waiting on somebody to say something to me, and to be accepted at a space where I can be me, whatever that looks like. If it's a hair wrap this day, a earring this day, a lock this day, a taper cut this day, and be accepted for that.
Come on.
It was very, very beautiful. I'm gonna have to send her voice memo, because I don't think she realized that impact. I just realized in this moment that impact of allowing people to truly live as them authentically. And it has nothing to do with your comfort as a leader. Ain't got nothing to do with you.
That's right.
Are your people comfortable in who they are? And previously, although I was successful at the other spaces, I was not comfortable in who I was, even down to my nails. I'm creative all over. Yeah. I used to hide my nails or do these pastel colors. Nothing wrong with pastel, but that ain't me. I like jewels, rhinestones, all of these things.
You said that ain't me. Come on. Yes.
This is me.
I don't know.
So that just made me think about like the comfort in the workspace. Who are we really being comfortable for?
Right.
Is it for us? Or what, is it for them? Whoever that them is.
What would you want? What do you want to see in the education system? Like, there are some pain points, right? And we, like in our community, our network, we have lots of different reasons of our whys, right? Like, why are we doing this? What we're doing? What do you envision? I'm a visionary, right? And I believe that we can actually see what we want to see, right? And so it gets discouraging whenever you can't be yourself, like you said, and then you've caught up in that and you forget your why, right? And then, but what do you envision from Tangerae's world? Like, what do you see shifting or wanting to shift?
Ooh, right now, what's been settling in my spirit the past couple months, even as I do my own self-work, what does it mean to have my own particular identity? I want to see more identity work for our students. And it might have all these other names, whether it's culturally responsive teaching or whatever.
Right.
And can we, with that, can we please actually do the work other than just changing the books?
Exactly.
Ooh, say that. That's gonna be alive. That's gonna be alive too.
I'm about to say that's that right there.
Because it's more than just changing the books. Yeah, it's more than just changing the books and show representation. That's good. That's a good first step. But in that culturally responsive teaching are you honoring that child's identity and all that is, whatever that looks like? So that's definitely one big thing of honoring identity in the classroom in education, whether it's children, staff, the custodial work, because they are the bomb essential workers. We couldn't have made it without them. So we need to honor their identity too. So identity in the workspace is definitely one. healing with expression, because you know expression is healing.
Honey.
Definitely that piece right there. So we got identity, we got healing with expression, which can heal that child or person's identity, right? And I would definitely say one of my other phrases I say a lot is mandate something different. We gotta, in order to, what's the quote, to basically be the change you see.
Be the change you want to see. Mm-hmm.
Yes, be the change you want to see. But in order for you to do that, you have to mandate something different. Like that's something that I live by, which is one of my cultivated connections phrases. Mandate something different. If you don't like it, change it, boo boo.
Come on. Ooh.
And if you get a little pushback, push harder. It is what
it is. Listen. Because you said it earlier, like who are we trying to please? Right? Who are we trying to please? So it's hard for people to mandate something different when they're always trying to live up to expectations that really they weren't supposed to.
Yep.
And who said that that's the expectation? And this is why our education system has to shift, has to change. And I always speak up, and I am not always liked. I'm like, for a minute, I had somebody tell me, I like you, but this is like a few years ago. One of the teachers, and I love her, you know, but she said to me, I like you, but not in this role. Why? Because I was pushing her. I was pushing to mandate something different, honey. Yes. Because guess what? You have it in you. It wasn't that she was a bad teacher or wasn't anything like that. You literally are dope. Like when I talk to you on a separate, like on a one, it's like, okay, you got this going on. But then when I talk to you about the children, it's like, oh, these kids just, I'm like, how about connect? This is why you on my, like, I don't really rock with everybody. I love everybody. I praise God for everybody's identity and who they are, but everybody ain't for everybody, right?
That part.
So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So I like to be, as Dr. D would say, in communion. In communion with the people who are going and seeing. That's why I asked you, what's your vision, right? Going forward. And so there are so many people out here like, okay, Queen, okay, Tangerine, like, well, how do I do that? You can definitely, it's possible, because we have been trying to live up to expectations that said it's not possible, because it has already been made, like it has already been set the way in which the education system path should go. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. But there are always a few people in your space that might rub you the wrong way because they like, something ain't right. It's like, oh, Queen, you always got something to say. Oh, Tangerine, you always got a big old light. Oh, you know, and I used to get upset about that. I used to be like, dang, why am I different? Am I saying something wrong? I'm just trying to find the best in people. Dang, but it's not popular. It's a lot of work. It's just, it really makes you shift, but it's better off at the end of the day when we actually do the hard work and we say, hey, let's really do this culture thing for real. Let's for real think about these children.
Like, what does that look like? And I think it's been settling on my spirits of identity and culture and being truly culturally relevant within the last few months, because I've been taking all these different classes with the Dance Education Laboratory, work that I've been doing previously, but it's very beautiful to be amongst other educators who have the same mindset and vision as I do. And the reason why I'm harping on the culturally relevant teaching that's not just changing the books, good starting point. The other piece is, we as educators, we're not the expert on everything.
No, we're not.
We're not. So we need to be letting the experts teach, whatever that looks like. And a prime example of that is during November, which is Native American Heritage Month. Our entire school did an initiative of basically just like, hey, we're going to honor this, because it was also new. Like a lot of our people at our school did not even know that this month, Heritage Month, even existed, which is like a crime and shame, right? But that's not just our school, that's everybody. Like a lot of people just don't know. We know about Black History Month, but what about the other ones? So we did a school-wide situation, which was very beautiful. However, again, this is some work that I started last year. I just moved the unit earlier versus, when I usually would do it. And I had to make sure that my students understood that Ms. Porter is not the expert on Native American culture. I own the fact. I told my students, scholar dancers today. We are learning about Native American dance and the whys behind why they do powwows and this, that, and the other. However, Miss Porter might not have all the answers to your questions because I'm still learning. I had to honor that I'm still a student in this. And what we don't know, we gonna find out together. And that's whatever right. Wondering question you have, we're gonna put it on our wonder board and we're gonna find the answer. Because Miss Porter, I'm not all knowing. I'm not God. I'm not all knowing. I don't know all the things. That's right. And I told the scholars, I said, I'm gonna let the experts teach. Miss Porter's not teaching you the dance because I don't know it, nor am I actually connected to that dance. I'm not connected to the Cherokee tribes. I'm not connected. I could be, but I don't know that. But even still, even though it may be in my lineage somewhere, perhaps don't know, I'm still not authentically connected to that culture. Right? So I use my resources, YouTube. And let the experts teach. And I expressed it to my coaches and my evaluators of, when you come into my classroom this month, you will not see Miss Porter actively verbalizing, teaching, because I'm not the expert. I'm gonna introduce it, but they're gonna watch this video of the natives speaking about their culture and the spirituality and the identity that is theirs. It's not my identity. So that's just some work that I've been doing over the years, but it was kind of highlighted last year throughout our celebration of Native American Heritage Month. And it's like, how much more can we do, like the real work? There's so many beautiful experts out here. Like, I didn't even know we had a Native American center maybe about 10 minutes from my house. I didn't know that until we our program coordinator partnered with them and had a Native American speaker to come in, beautiful woman, to come in and talk about her culture and her regalia. Like, y'all, I'm about to say this on all social media platforms. Native American outfits are not costumes. I'm gonna say this again. It's not costumes. It's regalia. It's regalia. Please say the name. Okay, I'm good. I'm sorry. Mic drop. Please do not put on costume. Oh my gosh. But that's a cultural identity thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, you just dropped a whole lot. So like, hold on. Let me okay.
I'm lit.
Woo, girl.
About this all day.
This is why. So first of all, this is why I have Miss Sandra Ray Porter on here, because she's just Mrs. Porter. She's amazing. Okay. And here's the thing. The essence of what I'm pulling from what you're saying, I'm hoping it's helping some people to understand how we educate, right? How we educate is really important. And all of those ways and methods in which you just said, I don't even know if people picked up on them. I don't even know. They had to watch the replay. You are creating, let's use the right word, cultivating learners and leaders by your example, by setting an expectation. And you are cultivating these learners and leaders to critically think. What is one of the biggest things that I see in the school systems is that we have children who are not mandated to critically think. We have educators, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of these people. I'm saying the way in which our system works, it is not a mandate for us to make sure that our teachers are delving into who they really are, their own identity. How can you help children and teachers and whatever position that you hold? Or if you're somebody that is making rules and laws for education, how can you truly help them find their identity and honor the identity if you don't do your due diligence on yourself? For yourself.
Right. That's that healing piece. That's that educational healing. Like, because most people don't know that they need to do work.
That's right.
Most people don't even know that. For me, the work, I realized I needed work. I mean, Ben knew that, but I don't think I started actively doing the work, self-work, until maybe 2018, 2019. And I don't know if you guys have saw my a chat with Dr. D of just about what Cultivated Connections is. And me personally, I have no problem with sharing my story about depression and anxiety. And now, since being diagnosed in November, ADHD, because it shows up as anxiety in girls. We didn't know that, right?
No.
That's another conversation for another day. Just misdiagnosis in children, especially Black children, Black girls, who are high functioning. I ain't gonna get into that today. So there's that, but I started to do this self-work heavily after my grandfather passed. My grandparents raised me for the first 12 years of my life. So that was my rock. And I fell into a huge deep depression. I have to give that context because that's when the self-work started. I fell into a depression so bad, but yeah, I was still going to work, showing up. A part of my identity had left.
Wow.
Forever.
Wow.
This was the person that I called to share my ideas, right? To like, even today, there are days where I'm like, Daddy, I'm about to do this, and this. Daddy, we about to make 100K this year. Where are we going?
Come on.
I've been wanting to call him and say that to him, but of course, I have to figure out a different way to communicate that to him. I know he see it, all of that. But in the midst of grieving or not grieving, I was showing up to work every day with a smile on my face, being fake. Not honoring that a part of my identity or what shaped my identity was gone forever. Smiling. Scholars, let's do the thing. Hey,
Putting it on.
Porter, how are you today? Right. Porter, how are you today? I'm good. And on the inside, I'm dying inside. Like a year and a half straight that was happening. And it wasn't until I spoke to my godfather, who was also our wedding officiant. And he, some people can read you like a book without you even saying anything. We're on the phone. This man 300 miles away in Memphis. He was like, what's wrong? I said, nothing's wrong. And he was like, no, you're lying. And he called it. He was like, you're depressed. I was like, no, I'm not. Why are you scared to say that word? You're depressed. So him saying that and owning the word for me and me then taking a step back and like, oh yeah, I am. And it's okay. We went on a cruise. And the cruise is what really, to be honest, all social media people, is what saved my life. Being out there in nature and not having to chat with anybody or anything was the start to my healing, where I realized that all these years prior, that I was showing up as not who I truly was. I was just showing up. Not showing up and showing out as Tangerine. I was just showing up. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who I was showing up as. I was just showing up. So throughout the process of me grappling and transforming through grief, because there is a transformation that happened, something else was awakened. I don't know. I can't tell you how that happened, but something else was awakening throughout my journey of processing my grief. Then of course I started another business and that helps. And then Cultivated Connections was birthed in its entirety. So that helped. It was just these different steps. I can't give you the pathway. I just do the self-work, but honor all parts of your identity, what helped shape your identity. I went off on tangent there, but I had to get that out though.
No, I'm so glad you went there. I really am. Because when I was thinking about you, I was like, I really want to talk to Tangerine about her story. I don't know. I just kept feeling that. And I had looked up a couple things, and I want to connect this to Rachel Rogers for a second. But before I do, I just typed in back to natural. I don't know. So like the other day I had taken my braids out and I said, let me get my curls back. Cause I love my curls, And I said, and I was about to put a post up on Facebook. And I said, back to natural. I'm coming back to natural. And something in me just reminded me. So this is so crazy. Something reminded me of whenever I had to get healed. I feel like we always healing all the time, right?
Yes.
But it was very similar. So the fact that you shared that, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Lord, you are so good for really like connecting us. I literally had a time and space where I had to be healed. And I was saying this to Sharon last week. on her interview, and I said, like, I had to stop everything, and it was not but the Lord. He said, he's like, don't do anything, like, just let it all go, all that fake, all that, like, okay, I'm great, I can do this, I'm all right, and it, like, stop. And I remember I had to take some time, and I stopped, and I went on a walk through, like, on a hike. I didn't know I was going on a hike. I did not know I was going on this hike, but I had taken some time for myself, and, like, okay, Queen, like, what, like, where are you right now? Like, you just all a ball of tense. Like, what is happening? Right. And you cannot be your best. You cannot go into this next level in that way. You worried about too much of this, that, and the other, family, home, work, this, that, and the other. People saying and it don't even matter. I went on this walk, on this hike, thinking I'm just going to do like a little run or whatever. Oh no, I didn't even read that thing, but it was like a 10-mile journey through the woods. And I was like, I ain't signed up for this. I need to turn around. I need to go back. I didn't, there's nobody else out here. I didn't hear nobody out there. And I went on it, and I don't really go in the woods and stuff. I'll go walk and run. But I was there for a minute. I seen deer, I seen stuff moving. And as I was going the whole time, I was like, I literally took video. I'm gonna have to put it up here. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna turn around. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep going. And it was all spiritual. It was all like, Robin, don't give up. You already came this far. You done did 3 miles. You got to go 3 miles back. You might as well just go 3 miles forward. That's really hard. This is hard. And the whole time I could feel myself getting healed. I didn't know I was going through the anxiety that I was going through. I didn't know that I was going through the craziness I was going, because I was showing up with a smile. I was doing what I do. And I needed that whole, I had my little dog with me. I felt bad. I said, okay, Reese, we're going to get through this. We were going through this. Like, it was not like one that was set. There was not a big path set. It was just like, okay, I think this is, like, you've seen the mile markers, but when you go, you can't see above or ahead. I learned faith. I learned, like, Robin, keep going. You're going to be okay. If something does run out and get you, that's going, it might be your time. I don't know, but you keep going. Don't stop. You don't have to know everything that's ahead. Just keep going. Know that this is your path in your journey to healing. So I'm so glad that you shared that. And then it made me think about back to natural.
And I love that you said that.
I read, like, not just like, why do I say natural? Like, I'm still natural, whether I got my brain, whatever, but I'm still like, whatever. But I said back to natural in our teaching, back to natural in our, like the instincts of what is right to do for our children, what is right to do for our teachers. People are showing up hurt. People are showing up, people are showing up exactly burnt out, not themselves. Like, because and it doesn't feel natural. Can somebody please confirm, like, when you go into the school, what doesn't feel natural? 9 times out of 10 is not natural. It's not natural.
Agree.
It's not, but it's for, like, when you force, like, I gotta do this, because when you start thinking about, well, I might get in trouble. I'm about to get in trouble. I lived with that. Like, I'm sitting here doing everything I can to do my best, to be my best. And I might get in trouble because I don't show up this way. That's not natural.
No.
You are a grown professional. And that's why that's why I work with teachers, to be well, so that they can teach well, and so that they can understand that you can be all of who you are in this, and be professional too with it. You can bring your kids to another level. So when you're talking about, you telling your students, I don't have all the answers. It's not natural when we sit here and say, I'm the boss, I'm in charge. Not like we are in charge, right? We have a responsibility, but it does not mean we stifle, like you said, like your 3-bar rebellion. That does not mean we stifle the voices of the students. Exactly. Because we older. No. What do you want to learn? What do you bring to the table? What have you learned that I didn't learn? Like, we've got to stop this whole mindset that we can't bring in these discussions and this creativity into the classroom. Children will learn and grow. Yes. They really will, even more. They'll even
faster. Faster. And you mentioned, I wrote down Bloom's taxonomy because we were talking about critical thinking. And we got all these theories and whatnot, right? But are we actually using them? Bloom's is one of my favorite because of the steps. You can find all these different resources, questioning all that. So I love that theory. Yeah. And I share with my enrichment team earlier this year, Bloom's taxonomy. So that's going to get into a whole other conversation of professional developments and the lack thereof for enrichment or related arts teachers, whatever you call them at your school. And one heard of it, but never did know how to apply. The other one had never heard of it. And so I'm like, and I understood that because I hadn't heard of it until I got into the regular, the gen ed classroom. So I'm exposing them this to this taxonomy and this knowledge. And I had straight up said, I said, let me tell y'all, if you look at the first two levels, it's all about recalling the information and basically regurgitating the information, right? Hardly ever, even in the gen ed classrooms, are we up at the synthesizing and application space. So I was like, we got to figure out in our enrichment classes, I don't know, well, I know what they're doing in other classes. I've been in the other classes, but I was like, in our enrichment space, how can we make this learning as authentic, as exploratory, as creative, as I love the word enriching. I love that word. That as possible. How can we do that naturally in our natural cohorts, whether it's PE, STEM, because we naturally do that without all of the flub. We don't, I'm gonna say it how I meant it's gonna come out. We ain't gotta do all that.
Come on.
It doesn't have to be written down in a lesson plan. Sometimes just have a discussion and the light bulbs will go off. Oh my goodness. So when you said something about critical thinking, it made me think of Bloom's taxonomy, because if we actually do the process versus thinking about, I hate how this gonna sound, versus think about data, because you need the data to push the learning. I get it. But data in me has a very, I'm not gonna say negative connotation. It has a,
it can put the wrong way out there. Like data,
yes.
So many different, there's data in having those discussions. Like you can see what your children like, stop your lesson. Don't keep going. No, we got to get through this. No. Children are asking you deep questions and wanting to know more and wanting to think. That is data right there. Like
yes.
I put data and put it over teachers' heads and everything. Like, oh my gosh, because like they're low and they're
this number.
Come on.
This number. Oh my gosh, this number. And I think that's the reason why I'm grappling on camera right now. I think that's the reason why I'm not gonna say I strongly dislike that word, but it kind of bothers me at times. Like when I teach a reading, I understood. When I was teaching phonics, yeah, we need this numerical data that 30% of these students, whatever. I get that. But to me, in the arts aspect or creative spaces, it looks totally different. What may look like an assessment to you is not an assessment in the STEM space, which is something that I've been talking with my team about as the small team that we are, and our leaders, of like, what does it mean to assess a teacher that is teaching a performance-based classroom?
Wow.
Because we're still teachers, but their rubric and that data is going to look different. That assessment is going to look different. So it just takes me all up and through there. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the tableaus where you're creating a frozen picture. That is an assessment that you can do with literacy. Like, yo, we're going to act out the beginning, middle, and end of the story. You group of four, you're the beginning. You group of four, you're the middle. You group of four, you're the end. You over here, you're narrators. What is happening? Narrate this story as your people are doing. And that's a whole literacy test. The story elements, like I love drama literacy. It's so much fun.
Yes. Like if you walk, let me just say, let's paint a picture real quick. And so I say, I'm kind of looking over here a little bit. I know people putting some comments. I'm saying like great conversation. These are the conversations we need to have instead of these PDs that we have. We just keep on boring teachers. We keep on boring teachers to death and telling them the same stuff. You need that as data and da, 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 da. Like these are the conversations we need to have, because we have so many wonderful perspectives. We have so many teachers with so much like background. There's things I didn't know about my teachers. I was like, I need to get to know my teachers, because they need to be leading. Like, but what happens is they feel stifled. They feel like I can't do that because I got to get to this data and I got to get these low kids, which usually are your creative. I hate to say it like this, but it happen. Like for the high kids, that's what we call it, the high, medium, low. Like, listen, the kids aren't looking at themselves. I'm low. I'm medium. I'm high. No, I am a person. I have a different culture background. I have a lot to offer. But if I don't fit into this certain thing, then I might be looked at different. Same thing with teachers. Like, we need to be having these kind of conversations to really get to the depths of what education is and how we should educate. I don't believe, and I say this all the time, like, we have teachers and then we have educators. I don't know if I say it all the time on camera, but like, we have teachers and we have educators. And that's, I like to help new teachers who are coming in, like, have all these great ideas to really understand what it means to educate. And when we're having these conversations, and as you're talking, Sandra, I just keep on thinking, like, dang, it's so separate. Everything is so separate, like arts teaching, and then the reading, and then the children are not looking at it like, well, they do now, right? Like they're learning, but they're like, this is separate. I'm terrible, math. You actually just showed me something that you love to do, and it all involved math, but you hate math in school because it's separated for you. It's everything is separated, and we don't come together, and it just brings us back to, you know, my 3-word rebellion is hone your brilliance, right? Because you're in that classroom, if you step into Tangerae's classroom, you step into my classroom. I don't know about yours. You step into our classrooms, honey, because, you know, this is my second kindergarten teacher in a row. You step into my 3rd grade or second, you're gonna see me like pulling away from the norm. You just are. You're going to see something here. You're going to see like kids like, oh, this is boring. Like, but I see that sometimes. I'm like, what's boring? You tell me. Oh, how can we make this better? Because I don't want to be bored either. I involve those children, and I'm just saying that to say I had to get to a space where I had to get out of the notion, oh, somebody's gonna come in here and they're gonna see like me not on pace with the curriculum. And no. What they should see is children engaged, learning. They should see me not being the only one speaking, that they are saying like, I didn't like how that happened. I said, okay, well, tell me more about that. What can you connect with? Like, you want to walk into this class, you want to see some music, you want to see some dance, you want to see, let's make some portraits. Oh, you want to, okay, come on, let's do this. You're going to see some flexibility.
Right.
If you're not seeing that, the kids are bored to death. I had a student, I'll say this last thing. I had a student say to me, Miss Queen, I probably shouldn't be saying this on here, but I will. Because I'm just being, Miss Queen, can I come with you? I said, no, you need to stay in class. And I'm gonna just let you know right now, I'm about to be asleep. There is a whole pandemic in middle school. There's a whole pandemic with our old, when they're little, they trying to please you, like, okay, yeah, this is interesting, and not really interested. Some of them might act out or whatever. Why do you think children are acting out? Stop calling them bad. They're bored, or they just don't know they need scaffolds. Like, and it doesn't make them, it makes them where they are. And there's lots that we can do and connect together and cultivate the learning spaces with our fellow coworkers to say, hey, he loves science, but he doesn't love reading. And I love reading. Why don't you? What can we do? It's not that we have to always change everything all the time. It's that we need to address the little beautiful learners in our space for who they are. But we can't do it if we don't even realize who we are, to say like, hey, you can do this. And we don't build teachers up enough to do that. We say, do this thing. So it's a ripple effect. And so it's never for me a blame game. Like when I say stuff, people get like, oh my gosh, you don't know people. Oh, I do know it. I know from all levels. I've been in all levels except for a parent, right? But I work with the parents too, because they like, Queen, can you give me some things for because my kid just is not involved and not engaged. And it's a real thing, and it's not to blame, but it is to say we need to shift. We need education healing. We need to take our mindsets and shift them, because our children, this generation, are not having it. They're not having it. They are done.
They are rebelling.
They are.
Whatever that looks like, they are rebelling hard. And as an educator, y'all, I ain't gonna say forgive me. I ain't gonna ask for no permission. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And I think everybody's rebelling, right? We as educators, we're like, after having a year or two at this point of the entire world shut down, schools shut down, and we go back into the buildings and are in person to do the same exact thing.
Yeah,
the system is broken. The system is so broken as a whole, and then we add a pandemic on top of it, on top of teachers being burnt out now, more so now than they ever was because of these mandates. Like, why the heck, I'm gonna say it, why the heck we still doing state testing? All our children have been, I'm not gonna even say have learning loss, because I don't believe that they had learning loss. They learned what they needed to learn when they needed to learn it, how they needed to learn it in the time that we were doing it. But according to y'all standards, they behind. But are they really? Or should we just change our expectations? Not lower the expectation, change the expectation that is we shouldn't be adhering to this state test.
How about we actually see where they are holistically
and meet them there? Yeah.
Because some children, and I agree with you, that whole learning, like, it's just buzzwords, man. It's like, I'm getting so tired of it. It's like, oh, this, if they didn't, they're learning loss, they just don't know, they're behind. Now that may be true according to the standards that we have set in our, like, but if you don't really take a look at families and children, there are a lot of children who advance in so many other areas. And it's like, whoa, how do you leverage what they do have? What we do have, what we do
savvy.
Like, I'm trying to tell you. So we start at the beginning of these school years. And listen, we here, and Tandra and I, we can go all day, but y'all want to have to just get in the space and get with us and connect with us, and understand that there are shifts happening, and there's hope. Like, there's hope. And these children and I say our children because they're our children. These children our children are so dope. They teach me so many things. But what we need to understand is that whoever's making these decisions are not really looking at this new normal, because we're starting these school years off, we're ending these school years, we're starting these school years off with, oh my gosh, we're going to leverage this, we're going to do, and we don't do it.
Yep.
Because we go back to what's normal and what is safe, even though it's damaging, even though it wounds our children and it wounds our teeth, we keep going back. It is time, like, we are screaming our voices out to say, not normal, it's not natural, it's not okay. It's not okay. And we've got to get to a space where, I don't care who says what, our children, their voices are what matter the most. They are our future. They are our next. And if we continue to still have all these separation, they can't be creative, they can't use their skills that they do have, we're going to see another type of a pandemic in our school system that is unfavorable.
Yep.
It's unfavorable.
I always go back to which group of students are going to be the ones that suffer the most over these state mandated expectations. The ones that look like me and you.
And it continues the cycle of perpetuates a cycle of way back, like, till now. This is what I'm saying. We can't heal. And you mentioned something earlier, and I just want to tie it back in here, where you said, like, I would show up and, okay, everything's great. I think about that as, like, and you didn't even know, like, okay, I'm really, like, not well right now. Like, I'm not okay. Like, and I put some posts out there this year, early this year, or even last year, like, teachers are not okay. Newsflash, like, we're not okay. We've got to do something. Our children are not okay. We keep saying the children, our educators are not okay. The family, like, we're gonna be okay. Please don't no. Listen, God done told me that we're gonna be okay, but there's some shifts that are taking place with or without people realizing it or not. But we're not okay in this current state that we're in. We're not okay in the way in which things were, and it's not about to happen. Like, and so when I think about that back to natural, it says one understands the importance of each child's unique and individual journey. And when you were sharing, Tangeray, your journey on here, it made me think about, like, how we would show up like that. We're putting Band-Aids on. We put Band-Aids on. So we all know, everybody knows that the education system is really, in a space, not in a good space, but we keep putting Band-Aids on it. And then Band-Aids keep popping off, and we keep going back to what is normal that is not okay. Okay.
Exactly.
And so, like, when we understand it's not natural, it's not normal, the way in which our system is, we got to understand there are a lot of people doing a lot of good work that are getting overlooked so that we can just keep this band-aids going. I'm just making it through. When I ask people, how you doing? I'm living a dream. Nope, sorry, you're not. It's not. This is not, I don't know what dream you live in.
Exactly.
This is a nightmare. And
Exactly.
and there's pain, and there's teachers, good teachers gone bad.
That's
losing their faith, losing their identity. They don't want to be there. They realize, like, I don't know what else to do, but I gotta, so we can talk about this all day, but at the end of the day, we have to get back to our instincts and be true, right? We've got to be true to what our like where we are right now.
And make sure, I was just speaking to a couple of coworkers the other day about being careful about our words and what we say to ourselves, but also to the children. Like, for so long, we have been putting this spirit of push through. Like, you need to push through that.
Yeah.
Versus saying show up your best self with whoever you are today.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've even changed in my own vocabulary through my own healing of showing up. Like, do your best today, whatever that is. I don't say push through to my kids, especially because we teach little Black and brown kids to push through, and when they are adults, they're surviving and not thriving. Ooh, and you might have saw me pull this book off. It's called Cass. We had to read it as a staff, but it was this quote, and I'm gonna shut my mouth because we can talk all day. But it's this quote in here where they talk about the slave auctions and whatnot, and I underlined it, and it's talking about women. And I'm just gonna read it because it's a lot of different things that I pull from it, although this is a very specific text, and it's, but it's a part where it says, talking about women were forced to disrobe before the crowd, to submit to hours of physical probing by roughhousing men who examined their teeth, their hands, or whatever other parts of their bodies the potential bidders decided to inspect. So that's one part. And I take that as a woman, and then as a Black woman, and all that heritage here, but I also take that as, I'm thinking about our students in this nature. They're poked and prodded on based off of data.
Yeah. They're
told to do this and show up this way based off of mandates that these other folks don't know nothing about. But then it says their bodies did not belong to them. I think about, as a movement educator, what does it look like for my students to have autonomy over their bodies?
Ooh, that's deep.
Our children sit in desks all day across the nation, hardly ever getting up. We as educators have taken away, or school system, I'm not going to say educators because we're all doing different things, but we as the school system have taken away the autonomy over their bodies. Their bodies are not their own, and that's not okay. And then there's another part in here that says, at auction, they were to answer any questions put to them with a smiling, cheerful consonant. I'm gonna read that again. At auction, they were to answer any questions but put to them with a smiling, cheerful consonant. This has been in our spirit since the beginning of time, that we show up and be fake. We show up and be fake. And again, I'm taking this as a Black woman, a Black educator who's teaching Black children. Like, yo, you don't have to show up and smile if that ain't what you're feeling. That's okay. But I step up off my tangent, and like, they would get punished for not showing up with this smile and whatnot. Girl, I can talk about this all day. Don't you?
It's tight, but it's right. It's tight.
Autonomy.
Go to the depths of that. Like, I'm not even want to say no more because I can keep going. Ooh, that right there. Like, we just need to let me take a pause. Think about that. That is not what God designed us to do. It's not. It's not. And we are not honoring. I love these three things. And Tangerine, I want you to tell people the benefit of working with you. Like, I can tell them some benefits. I already like, did you see that whole kid? Like, she just embodied this whole conversation, right? It really has been natural. I did not give her any questions. I just said, hey girl, we're gonna talk. I said, I'm talking about education healing. I said, can you hop on with me? And I said, all the dopeness that you have inside of you. Like, that's pretty much all I said to her. I said, we might talk about Rachel Rodgers, because Rachel Rodgers, we both love that book, because it really getting us to say, wait a minute, hold up. I'm doing all of this stuff to then be just trampled on. No, 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 things got to change, right? So Rachel Rogers, We Should All Be Millionaires. Y'all can read that on your own and you will see. But to me, the benefit so far, like you just embody cultivating those connections, calling out those things that are like, oh yeah, I think I've thought like that. I've done that. I'm not happy. When I started educating, I was happy and I was thinking like, I'm gonna do, and I got in here and I'm all the way trampled on. I'm all the way on this place where I'm just surviving. I'm not thriving. I don't know what I hate my job. I hate my, like, if you feel that way, you got to know that there's a better way. This woman right here, in one conversation, we have a conversation about something else. She helped me get my whole life creatively, technology on there, getting organized, high level, making sure that businesses run right here, even beyond education. The benefits of just even having this conversation today. We're supposed to be talking for 20 minutes, honey. And right. Y'all getting a whole live treat. And this is still a little bit from what you really would know to get offered from her. So what is like a benefit of just like connecting with you and your in your business? Like what yeah.
The first word that comes to my mind is empowerment. I naturally empower people. One, because I like to feel empowered, and when I empower others, I also empower myself. So that's the main thing. The first thing you will feel after leaving a conversation with me is straight up empowerment. You're gonna feel the confidence to go ahead and mandate something different, whether that's in your life in regards to changing your mindset, because we do a lot of mindset work too, or mandating something different as far as your curriculum, whether that is you are arts educator or related, not even just arts educator, a enrichment educator that goes for PE too and all those other things.
Come on.
And you want to make your curriculum more culturally relevant, real work, not just changing the books.
In action.
And showing videos. You will learn that with me, as well as if you are a core content teacher, because I love y'all too. I'm still a gen ed teacher. Yeah. You will learn more about arts integration strategies with culturally relevant and social emotional, because the arts naturally do that. Yeah. Social emotional content. So I got you. You know, just come on in the room. And of course, Miss Queen has mentioned to you guys that I do got a little tech savviness. So there's a series that I plan on coming out with of just basically how do you plan your curriculum with tech.
Whoa, it's right here. Like I'll just be watching her. She just be giving so much away for free already, like that, because it just naturally flows off her. I was like on her live, like, oh, how she do that? Oh, I need to. Oh, I'm not. Listen, you talking about planning? You talking about for real planning, not just copying them lesson plans that's already written for you. You talking about planning for some real like engagement in your classroom.
Yep. So I got a bunch of strategies. I'm saying like Madea, I got a bunch of strategies for you. Girl. So go ahead and hit your girl up. Share all the things, especially this conversation, because this conversation was lit. With your principals, with your IAs, your instructional leads, with your coaches, with your auntie who needs some mindset work and some planning stuff, because we got a planner workshop coming up. Okay, hit the wait list, boo.
Yes. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. This has been just amazing. This has just been for me. And I know a couple people have said on here, like, this is a good conversation, right? We talking about them people who really want to see some real good change, some shifts. And maybe you didn't realize you needed to see it until you listen to this today. You like, dang, I didn't realize I was there. Because sometimes that's what happens. We just keep on going through the motions, but not no more, guys. Not in 2022. It's shifting. It's shifting. Yep. And you can get your identity back. You can be well and teach well. You can actually mandate something different from your administrators and say, hey, listen, this isn't working, but I need something different. I need something more. I need care.
And even if you can't change the whole school, change your classroom.
There you go. We're gonna leave on that note. We're going to live on that note. Thank you, Tangeray. I love it. It's been awesome. I appreciate you for taking time